Los Angeles Lakers took the floor last night, and to be honest, they put up a decent fight before ultimately falling to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 119-110. It was a matchup that really hung in the balance until the final moments. Now, obviously, the Thunder were without their reigning league MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but don't let that fool you. They still had their entire championship core ready to roll, minus Ajay Mitchell. They even welcomed back Jalen Williams, who became the deciding factor in crunch time, pouring in 10 massive points during the fourth quarter. But hey, before we break down the stats, if you enjoy these daily updates, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, balancing out the absence of SGA was the fact that Luka Dončić was also sidelined for the Lakers, marking his second consecutive missed game with that hamstring strain. And unfortunately, we still don't have a concrete timeline for when he'll be back on the court. So you had the best player from both squads out, 2 top 5 MVP candidates, and the league's top 2 scorers watching from the sidelines. Even with that wash, you'd expect the Thunder to handle business, considering they were favorites by 7 to 12 points on the road. And sure, they covered the spread, but with 7.5 minutes left in the fourth, the Lakers actually led 99-98. Even deeper into the clock, the Thunder only held a narrow 111-108 lead with under 2 minutes remaining. Look, LeBron James had a respectable stat line, 22 points, 10 assists, and 6 boards on 9 of 17 shooting. He finished a -7 for the game, which, for once, wasn't the worst. Plus minus on the roster. Overall, not a terrible night for the purple and gold. So why did Bron sound so defeated and critical of his squad during the post-game presser when asked to measure the Lakers against the Thunder? You want me to compare us to them? No. I really want to hear your thoughts on that. Like, seriously? Yeah. When pushed for an answer, he didn't mince words. They simply aren't championship material. That is a championship team right there. We are not. It's that simple. What do you think is the biggest hurdle for this team right now? We cannot sustain energy and effort for 48 minutes, and they can. That is exactly why they won a ring. He also made sure to praise the Thunder's league best defense. They are number 1 in defense, statistically speaking. I would put them up there with maybe a couple of other teams, but yeah, their pressure is intense. They have so many guys who can extend the floor defensively, like Kaysen, obviously Alex Caruso, Dort, and J-Dub. A lot of those guys can really pressure the ball and push your offense way out of your preferred scoring zones. But interestingly, he thought his Lakers actually held their own on the defensive end as well. I thought defensively, we played very well. I mean, in the first half, we let Isaiah Joe get way too comfortable, especially in that first quarter where he knocked down 3 triples. He had 4 in the first half because we didn't execute our switching properly. We messed up our switch coverages and allowed him to step back for a couple of open looks. But listen, for the majority of the second half, I thought we were really solid. Defensively, we didn't have many lapses. Obviously, J-Dub hit some tough shots late in the fourth, but we had bodies on him. Holmgren hit a difficult one in the paint too, but I didn't think our defense was the main issue there. No, it seems the real problem, according to Bron, was simply that Oklahoma City made their shots when it mattered, and LA didn't. Made shots. Plus, we generated some really high-quality looks in the fourth. We just couldn't knock them down. They were able to convert, grab some 50-50 balls, and secure extra possessions. Sometimes it really just comes down to a make-or-miss league, and they made more than we did in the fourth. And honestly, some of that blame might fall on King. James himself, that lack of clutch shot making he mentioned, it's a big reason they lost and why they don't look like a title contender right now. LeBron, despite the good box score, didn't deliver. In the fourth quarter, hitting just 2 of his 6 shots in the final frame. That included going 0 for 2 from deep and missing both crucial free throws down the stretch. Yet, nowhere in his postgame comments did he say me or I, as in I didn't make those shots. It was all we and us, as in we. Missed shots or we aren't contenders. That's a championship team right there. We are not. If you recall, last season against the Timberwolves in the playoffs, the Lakers were gentlemen swept, losing 4 games to 1. That happened despite the Lakers being the 3 seed, facing the 6 seed, with nearly every major NBA analyst picking them to win that series. A series that the Lakers, talk about a tale of 2 halves. The Lakers actually built a 6-point cushion over the Wolves through 3 quarters, only to suffer a catastrophic collapse, losing the final period by 42 points. And who was at the helm of this sinking ship in the fourth? None other than LeBron James, cementing his reputation for vanishing into thin air when the pressure peaks. It was painfully obvious in that do-or-die Game 5. With the score deadlocked at 88 midway through the final frame, Los Angeles completely imploded, largely because the King could only muster 5 points on 2 for 7 shooting. And let's be real, one of those buckets was a garbage time layup after. The outcome was already sealed. Oh, and then came the convenient rumors about a torn knee ligament. Before we dig deeper, smash that like button if you're tired of the excuses. Looking back, their first-round exit against Denver the previous year, another 5-game gentleman's sweep, was arguably even more embarrassing and pathetic, especially considering the Lakers held the lead for over 70% of the series' total minutes, yet somehow only scraped together a single victory. That monumental choke job naturally cost poor Darvin Ham his gig, despite his resume as the illustrious championship-winning coach of the inaugural in-season tournament. And who could forget the playoff exit in 2023? Once again, the villain was Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. That series was a total cleanup on aisle 4, with the Lakers getting swept right out of the postseason 4-zip. The tragedy? They had a legitimate chance to steal every single one of those matchups. But LeBron shot a dismal 7 for 23. That's 30% in the fourth quarters. Every game went down to the wire with a total point differential of just 24 across the entire sweep. Are you starting to see the pattern here? If only they had a go-to guy in the clutch, right? If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more unfiltered NBA takes. Now, let's hear the explanation from James himself. I mean, look, we generated some quality shots in the fourth quarter. We just couldn't convert. They managed to secure those 50-50 balls and grab some crucial extra possessions. Sometimes it really is just a make or miss league, and they simply knocked down more shots than we did down the stretch. But hold on. The narrative changes now that Luka Dončić is in the mix. He's proven throughout his postseason career that he can execute exactly what LeBron couldn't, burying those heart-stopping daggers when the game is on the line. So turn that frown upside down, Bron. You might finally be looking at a championship roster again. Or maybe you're nothing without Luka. But hey, don't stress. You guys will be perfectly fine the moment your real bus driver gets back behind the wheel.